Hi, welcome to Radio Louisiana. This is Kevin. We're here with Mitch Briggs and Graham Blake, and we are here to talk about something very special this weekend.
Yeah, very special. We got Mitchfest.
Mitchfest. If you haven't heard of Mitchfest, explain Mitchfest to us, Mitch.
This is going to be the sixth one. So I guess 6 years ago, I got together and I wanted to hear a very specific show for my birthday. And it was pretty much, at that time, we did I think it was four. Was it four bands?
4 or 5.
Four or five bands. And it was at Artmosphere back then. And it was bands that made no sense to actually, so you never see the show live.
You had a punk band, and then you had an acoustic band.
And then you might have a rap group. And
then metal.
And so and I was like, that's the kind of show I like to see. So Barry over there let me put it on. Actually, Graham and his band at the time, Foul Stench of Youth, named it Mitchfest. Because back then it was just my birthday show. And so it was I think my band at the time called it Birthday Extravaganza or something.
Yeah, we just made it. We just wanted to make some flyers because we used to love to make flyers. And then we just put Mitchfest on it.
And then over the years, it kind of evolved where it's not really, has nothing to do with my birthday anymore. And it just kept growing and growing. And then this year I had to scale it back a little bit because of some venue closures, that would let this type of event go down. Nothing against any venue in town, but some particular venues would not let some of the bands, I guess, playing at this kind of event play in their club. So JP's was the only one really left that would allow this to, I guess, give us free reign over.
Wait. I'm going to bring this one out. I got to hear this. Okay, who doesn't want a specific... I mean, that sounds like the Hilton saying we only want Frank Sinatra.
Well, it is kind of like that. I mean, I don't know if there's some clubs that have specifically said we will not book hip-hop or metal shows. And we have a representative from each of those genres on this lineup. And we normally do. We normally will have that. Or, for example, the band we're both in, S.C.U.M. I don't know if JP's will ever let us play there again after the show.
Which is fun.
Which is fine.
Is it that bad?
It's not that bad. It's just, it was kind of a Wild Sam and Hefe Saloon where, I mean, you've been to both those bars where...
I've been to every one of them, and to me, they weren't bad at all. They was just a bunch of people having a badass time,
and ownership that would kind of just be like, yeah, I mean, if you want to have a super circle full of whiskey and shoot it at the crowd, that's perfectly acceptable in our club.
I know, but literally, that's really not that big of a deal, okay?
I think it's not a big deal either, but some places do.
Well, I mean, maybe, if you're carding everybody and everybody's 21, it's okay.
Yeah, I agree.
But literally, if it's piss, I can understand them saying
we're
no.
not trying to be GG out.
And that's why S.C.U.M. always plays after midnight anyway. So
S.C.U.M. always plays after midnight.
Yeah. But I mean, I've had with bookings in the past. I've definitely had with certain venues, and we're actually right now at an all-time low for venues in Lafayette City area. I guess I should say.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, we got the Blue Moon, we got Artmosphere, we have JP's, and we have the District, which the District would let us I guess the District would let us go, but that place, I love Judd over there. I don't want to say anything bad, but that $4 Bud Light gets me every time, and I feel like we get people that go,
Bud Light.
$4.
Okay.
Well,
I mean, the reason why is, why.
I know why.
It's an oil field bar.
Not really. I mean, to me, it's, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with the door. Usually they don't make the door, so they got to make sure that they entail paying something.
That's why I like having Mitchfest in smaller venues where it's not where, that we don't give any guarantee out for Mitchfest. These are bands that play Mitchfest normally that just want to, we want to play all together. We want to have a good time.
I want to be heard.
Yeah, I want to have a party.
I want to be heard.
And we do take the door and divide it evenly amongst the bands, whether that's whatever the door is, we divide it by however many bands playing, and there you go. A total even shake for all the bands.
Tell me something. Wild Salmon, what's up with that?
All right. Well, I can attest to what I know of it. The owner, Steve, sold it to this guy named JB, right? JB?
JB.
JB, who actually also bought 2/3 of Hefe's. So I went down to 1/3 of Hefe's, which is why we closed that down, because he wants to make it. From when exact words from him, he's like, I want this place to be so cool that, like, if I could do it, I'd put cocaine on the walls so people would keep coming back. And, like, I want pop collars, and I want a disco ball and a dance bar in here. And I'm like, this is the wrong location. That's not going to happen. This is a horrible location for that. I mean, so he went in and used unlicensed labor, which it's a commercial building, so you have to use licensed contractors, and tore everything out of the same and just gutted it. Yeah. And then started to like put new things in, and the city caught him. So now he has to use licensed contractors to tear everything out that the unlicensed guys did. It's pretty much just a cluster of crap.
It sounds like JB's about to sell.
Well, I could see that, but he supposedly, like, this is all hearsay.
Maybe.
Yeah, he supposedly bought the building that the Wild Salmon was in, along with the building next to it, and that what used to be the Buddha Complex Karate Studio.
Okay.
He supposedly bought that and is trying to get someone to rent out the Salmon building and pay for all the remodels and open a bar.
It's not going to happen.
This is not even worth even discussing.
What I feel like is we've lost those venues for good. That's it. They're done.
Yeah. Y'all want to have a good city council meeting? Y'all come here. And we'll talk about it. Because you see how easy that was? Okay, cool. We're not even going to talk about that anymore because we know that's called bullshit.
It is
bullshit. That's what that is. I mean, like, come on. How you screw up? That's 3 different places that people were going. You know, I guess he paid the price, so the other guys are like, whatever, you know. But, like, literally, I mean, now there's 3 venues completely gone. That were there.
Mm-hmm. And he came in, threw a bunch of money around, and then didn't have the money to follow through with his plan.
Okay. I feel like if I had some like music in the background, it would be even better. But
and then before that, I mean, you had Renaissance.
And
then you had 307. And both of them went a few years ago.
Yeah.
Well, you know, even the Frankie Burger deal.
And Frankie Burger, another one.
Man, that was a sad thing. I was talking about yesterday with my mom, of all people, how I miss Frank, because on the few occasions I would go
I remember that time your mom did a stage dive off of the bar at Frankie Burger.
That happens.
No, just
that doesn't sound that different than my mom. That could have happened. How many bottles of wine did she have?
But no, I mean, that little spot in the back.
It was cool.
It was nice.
It was neat.
Yeah.
It was neat. I mean, they had, you know, I mean, it was great for summertime.
Oh, yeah.
You could have had like a surfboard, like on hydraulics, and like literally have a pool by it. And then when you fall off into the pool.
Instead of riding a bull.
Sign a disclaimer. That would have been the best thing ever in the summertime on the weekends downtown.
I would have gone to Frankie's just for that. Minus like the burger that was always good at 2 a.m.
I don't know if it's real estate.
Not always good.
At 2 a.m.
Not even at 2 a.m. I had one time, man. Frankie's was best in that little deal on the street.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was the best.
It really was.
That burned down.
Yeah, the one that burnt down.
That was insured for way too much.
Well, I mean, and then it just so happened to open across the street.
Yeah.
Now it's a vague memory when I drive down Vera at Skrill Road.
Yeah.
And listen to Slow Ride, which was complete bullshit for people that didn't read the entire article. You know, people really believe that shit was true.
Oh, really?
People are going.
I'm not joking. Like, I see all these different things online, and people literally will share it and go, "Man, I love this song." They didn't read it.
Yeah.
I was like, guys, y'all need to read the article. It's really satire article. It's not real. And all of a sudden, somebody framed it and put it up somewhere and made it a new post in the New Orleans area. And I was like, I think that y'all need to go back to the original article and read it, because people in their 40s and 50s sharing it, going, "Man, that sounds so cool!" And they would say it on their own page. I was like, "Man, there's this shit floating back around in the share data again." Okay, I gotta stop. One of the guys that was involved in that, I actually interviewed him in here.
Oh yeah.
I can't talk about it, but yeah, I mean, I was trying to get him to talk about slow. I kept asking, if you go back in my interviews and you hear me go, talk about Slow Ride, no, I can't. He's actually a pretty good songwriter there.
Oh, yeah.
That dude. He really is. Really good songwriter.
Nice.
His initials are JL. Okay, I'll stop. Okay. All right. Let's talk a little bit about Mitchfest. It's so rowdy that you want to go. So, like, literally, it's so rowdy that the venues are scared.
I truly believe so. I mean, like, because,
and look, I don't know who Funeral Horse is.
They're pretty good. They're out of, that's our one, out of state band this year.
I want to see this shit. See, but this is what people want. When you own a business and you own a rock club or you own a metal club or you go to a venue, this is what people want to see. They want to see this shit. Yeah. They want to see what's new and what's cool. And why should I pay a cover? Because you want to see Porch Squad.
Porch Squad is awesome. You have not seen.
Because you want to see S.C.U.M. Because you want to see Funeral Horse.
Oh yeah. And they're a great band. Funeral Horse came through town a couple times about 2 years ago.
It sounds like almost like a scene out of one of those cartoons from Adult Swim.
Oh yeah,
Funeral Horse, dude. I want that sticker.
That is the name, man.
I want that shirt.
They'll be there. Hopefully, they're selling their merch.
Funeral Horse.
Funeral Horse.
Oh shit, that's a great name. Okay. Can I have a band next year play? I want to be the Johnny Cockrings.
Yes, come on with it. I wear it down.
Have Johnny Cochran with a on the drums. Johnny Cochran's face. He's riding a broomstick with a wedding ring, right? Like a big wedding ring around the broomstick. Johnny Cockrings.
You could sell Cockrings as merch.
Oh,
like personalized cock ring.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a moneymaker right there.
Our hit song's going to be called Marsha. Like Marsha Clark. Marsha!
It'd be great.
Marsha!
You make it, we'll book it.
All right, everybody just like went, oh, we're not listening to this no more. Dude, you know somebody in California is stealing that idea.
Oh, yeah, right now. Someone's like, oh, did you hear what was on there?
Already got it. Already got the website.
Then make it a black metal band. Even better.
Oh, yeah, straight up. Eastern European black metal.
Yes.
Those guys mean it. Like, they don't just say they'll burn a church. They might really burn the church.
Okay. All right. Patrick McGovern of Rebel Cruiser is doing what?
He's doing a solo set. I just found that out last night. Actually, kind of a sad note. Rebel Cruiser was going to do a full band set. The drummer got in a car accident and something with his back, and he's out for, like, I think they said like 9 weeks. The doctor, like, I mean, it was a pretty bad wreck.
Damn.
And then I just found that out last night. So I had to move some stuff around. So Funeral Horse moved up from 5 o'clock to their slot. And I put, Pat was like, well, I'll do a solo acoustic act. So we put that in at the 5 o'clock slot.
Okay. I hope I don't cripple this, but Domania.
Domania. That is that was my first band ever in Lafayette.
How long ago is this?
9 years. Well, we started out as Suck Out Loud, yeah. And then...
That was the name of the band?
Originally, Suck Out Loud. And S.O.L. And then, which is another band in town going by S.O.L. now. But I think they actually just call themselves Soul, but S.O.L. And I'm like, dude, that was us. But we originally were going to change our name when we...
Suck Out Loud, dude.
Suck Out Loud, that was our name. We were acoustic folk punk rock. And when we changed the name... Why did we change the name? Because we kicked out Rob or something?
Yeah, because that was Rob's name.
Rob came up with the name Suck Out Loud. He's like, you can kick me out, but I'm taking my name. Yeah. And we're like, you can have Suck Out Loud. And we played around with some names such as like, I wanted to be called the Shiny Booty Brigade. Dude, and wear aluminum foil on our butts.
That's like P-Lander Z.
Yeah.
Or in America.
Yeah, but I got voted down.
Yes. But in fact, Domania should have went to Japan and did an opposite P-Lander Z.
We had a crazy tambourine player named Cody Domain. By the way, one of the best guitarists in Lafayette. Dead serious, amazing guitar player. He comes into my band, I hand him a tambourine and say go. And he if you guys remember that band, what were they from? Lay Breastfeeders or something?
Yeah.
They came to Festival International
like
what, 5 years ago?
They came in like 2009 and then again in 2011, I think.
Who were they called?
Lay Breastfeeders.
Les Breastfeeders.
Yeah, and they had a crazy tambourine player too.
I want to say that I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, they were awesome.
They were awesome. But Cody put that tambourine player to shame.
Yeah.
Like, this guy would be in Artmister hanging upside down from like those little V rafter things and like just going nuts. He also played guitar in Kid Midi for a while, and he wasn't he in Insanity's Mass?
Yes.
Yeah.
Obliteration.
Yeah. Insanity's what?
Old Mass back in the day.
Old
this kid can just shred. I mean, he's classically trained on guitar, amazing. But he got famous for playing tambourine, and and he would.
That sounds crazy.
Yeah, I know. I wish this wasn't my life, but it is. He would wear pink knee-high socks.
Wow.
Pink Umbros, that blue windbreaker. And then at one show, that was his outfit. And at one show, he almost died at the, we were playing the MVC in Brobridge or something. It was like a tattoo shop.
Oh, the little garage place?
The little garage place. And we were playing it like in July. And there was no AC. There was no water for the bands. And of course, all we brought was an ice chest full of beer. And
that's all he drank.
And that's all he drank. And he got really overheated. I mean, like, he looked bad. Like, I was like, this is not good. So I ran across the street to get him some water because there's this gas station across the street. And there it was in all its glory, this pink cowboy hat. And so I bought it for his outfit. And that was it. And so, but Carlton's going to do a tribute / we might get on stage with him, do a couple songs with him.
I'm going to tell you, that's how it happens, too. You want to know how magic happens? You write it on a napkin, or you go across the street to get an almost dead guy some water, and you find a pink hat.
You find a pink cowboy.
That's how magic hat happens right there. Look, I went crabbing one time. I bought a really famous hat that it's called the crabbing hat. That's how I found it.
You gotta let destiny lead you to these things.
Once I was getting a little thirsty, stopped to get some worms or something, you know, a little melt for the crabs, and out of nowhere, saw it.
That's it.
It even had a shark tooth in it.
That's awesome.
Crabbing.
Sounds like a great
From that
hat.
moment on, I wore black Doc Martens and that crabbing hat every time I went crabbing.
Cool. This must have been early 90s. You had your Docs on, huh?
No, I kept them that long.
You kept your Docs
I kept
that
them
long?
for years.
Man, I threw away my Mary Janes a long time ago.
You remember the black ones all the way? Okay. Yeah. Back to story.
Back to story. So Carlton Castile, he's going to do a little tribute to El Domania, and I don't know, because we're going to have a drum set and a bass rig, a backline. I could very well see other members of El Domania getting up there. But yeah, that's how the name came around, because he was such a crazy tambourine player, and his name's Cody Domain. And at that time, we had this girl in the band that was, well, I don't want to name the band after Cody. We're all together. And I convinced her that Domania is the feminine word for house in Spanish, which is just total bullshit. And then L is the masculine prefix, which is technically true. And so since we have girls and guys in the band, we're the house, but we're a masculine feminist house, El Domania. And it was all just really trying to name it after Cody Domain. That's how that name came around.
Who is Carlton Castile?
He was the lead singer. He's also known as Uptown, and he's been around forever.
Yeah, he plays the aggressive folk show, sometimes Bisbanos.
Yeah, Bisbanos. He plays classical style guitar, and he's just he's a weird dude. But it's like he's the nicest dude you're ever gonna meet. But man, let's just say he was up in Washington for too long. With too many...
Wait, which Washington? The D.C.?
No, the state.
Or the one in Louisiana.
The state. With too many colors that he couldn't control when they came to him. And
too many colors?
Yeah, he kind of burned himself out. I mean...
No comment.
No comment. He's a good guy.
You know it was bad. No. Okay, so we've talked about a lot of stuff so far. Let's talk about Brother Jac.
Oh, my God.
I mean, if you don't want Brother Jac to play your venue, you suck.
Brother Jac is probably the one on that list and Pete Project Kitchen Band, they could probably get. I mean, they could play anywhere.
They could play anywhere. Yeah, I mean,
Brother Jac's just unbelievable.
Brother Jac has come out with an album. I have it in my car. Project Kitchen Band just came out with an album.
Yeah, and it's awesome.
Brother Jac is about to come out with another album. Mm-hmm. Brother Jac should be lining freaking festivals, as far as I'm concerned.
I agree. Like, if we're gonna have all these local groups on festival, Brother Jac should be on there.
Brother Jac would kick their ass.
Oh yeah,
I mean, they keep getting better and better and better and better.
Yeah, I remember the first time I saw him, and I was like, "Damn, these guys are good." And then I saw him again. I'm like, every time it's just like a better show. Every single time I see him.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And you know what? I'm gonna tell you right now. If you have an issue getting a venue next year, call me. I will be happy to find a venue for you.
All right.
Because I every time I've ever been to one of these shows, you experience what really, I guess, the scene is here. Mm-hmm. As far as rock, metal, every genre coming together, making it work.
Yeah.
To me, you know, even if everybody signs a disclaimer at the door.
And that's the thing, no one's going to get hurt physically.
Even if they, but literally, they would.
Yeah.
That's how bad they want to go to the show.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's not that, you know, because to me, I've seen school teachers, everything, all the way from every walk of life in these shows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
mean, know, they're there chilling out because your damn kid was too bad at school or something else, you know, something. Yeah. They're having a good time creatively. Mm-hmm. It's not, let's get crazy and run through a wall.
No.
I've seen that in venues, and there was no show.
Yeah.
You know, like there's none of that. Everybody's just having a really good time. There's nothing stupid. I mean, to me, Super Soakers, dude, come on.
It's not a big deal.
It's not a big deal at all.
I've never been one to understand why.
I mean, shit, you drop 5 drinks on the ground. That's more of a hazard
than that.
You know what I mean? And they deal with that.
And that happens every night.
And we aim perfectly for the mouth when we use the Super Soaker.
We don't want to waste costly Jameson.
Yeah, I mean,
on the floor.
Look, I mean, I can understand. You know, you have maybe 1 security guy, 2 security guys. You know, you keep it legal, but I mean, at the same time, I mean, this shouldn't be a big deal.
And the other thing is, I mean, even without security guys, like we have a group that, like S.C.U.M's been helping me do Mitchfest forever. Tanner has been helping out here and there, like. Because for a while there, when it was so huge, when we did 2 venues and we had like 50 bands playing it, well, the problem we ran into back in those days was all the bands kind of deserve a good slot. You know what I mean? Like, no one wants to play at 10 in the morning, so how do you decide that slot?
Right.
And so we came up with the idea. We've literally 2 years, we rolled dice. We just took dice, and everybody got a score, and that's how we determined the lineup. So, like, you know, bands like, man, I can't believe I have to play at noon. Well, that was the roll of the dice.
It has nothing to do with how popular you are.
Yeah, because, like, I mean, if I was going to arrange a lineup just directly into popularity, that lineup would be totally different. You know, but it's more of just...
Well, it's you know, it's stuff you've heard in the middle of stuff that you haven't heard that you want to see, and some that you're like, oh, my God, what is this? Because Funeral Horse, I want to see who these people are. I want to see who they are. Is it a little short guy and a tall guy? I mean, like, that's that's the first thing that comes to my mind. You know, like, I just think this is interesting.
It's gonna be a good show.
You know, I mean, I know last year I know he can't be here this year. He did the Iron Maiden tribute.
Oh yeah, Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
What time does the show start this year?
It starts at the doors open the first band goes on at 4. Doors are at 3.
Okay.
So we're doing it a little just because we're doing it at one club. I didn't feel like doing it all day was the best kind of way to handle it this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Iron Maiden, and he's that's Jim Nobles. And, man, his original group. He just came out with the Nameless. If you haven't heard them yet, check them out. They are incredible. And,
well, he's a very creative dude, man.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like literally, like, you know, I think some of them. I write stuff on their Facebook pages. Sometimes I think they don't know how to take me. That they can think I'm crazy. I think, and I am a little. But like, you know, yeah. I tell them these things, and I want them to know, dude, y'all are awesome. Like literally, y'all are awesome. You know, like, but they think I'm crazy. I think they're like, yeah, this dude's always telling us weird shit. So like,
Yeah.
but I mean, seriously, you know, Funeral Horse. Keep going back to it. I'm not joking. Like this is gonna be crazy.
Oh yeah.
And I don't want to hype it up too much because if it completely sucks, they're gonna want to kill me. But like to me, if Funeral Horse sucks, they can't suck. If you came up with a name like that,
you can't be bad. You got to be good with that name.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's like having the name We Don't Suck.
Yeah, you better not come out and suck.
Right.
Is the band that played before Downfish playing this year or after? They were really good. Is that Brother Jac?
You mean, wait, last year?
Yes.
I can't remember the lineup.
It's not Brother Jac. Okay.
Was it an out of town band? Because last year we had a lot of out of town bands. They're all local. I mean, like I say out of town, they're from Houston.
I'm a little out of touch.
So, and one thing I would love Mitchfest to become as it grows is a great spot for connection. So if we bring bands in from Houston or Homa or even Baton Rouge and stuff like that.
Dude, the band in Homa that I have a memory of, that I have their album, is it's gonna escape me right away. But the lead singer's name is Elvis.
Is it Elvis to Presley's?
No, it's they had the drummer is what it's called, named after. Apparently, it's a T-shirt that he made one night. His name is Elvis Adams. The lead singer's name is Elvis Adams. The front of the CD is so memorable to me because it's got burgers and fries and hot dogs all over the front of it. I'm gonna look it up. What talk about Pinkerton too, because I don't think they know what that is.
All right. Well, Pinkerton is a Weezer tribute band from Lafayette. It is a bunch of Weezer nights, Weezerettes, or whatever you want to call them, and they get together. And they love Weezer, and they play their favorite Weezer selections, and it's always a good time. People are dancing and partying. And I think it's a nice little break in the show if it needs a break, you know, because you can get original music overload, I guess, where you're like, man, I've heard 9 original bands. You know, I just need a moment. I would just want to sing along and have a good time. And so, yeah, that's what it is. Pinkerton is Weezer's second album, and that's where they got their name from.
I got the name of that band.
Yeah.
Rick Flavored Arsenal.
Rick Flavored Arsenal?
You need to hear this, dude.
I do need to hear that.
Okay. Like, they're out of Homa. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys. They are rowdy and crazy. And look, y'all need to reach out to these dudes. I'm telling you, like straight up, they are wild and they are fun.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Like, it's the one band out of Homa that I know I heard that I was like, I just stood at the stage like this. I was just in awe. I was like, now this is serious.
That's a great name.
And the lead singer's name is Elvis Adams.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like, he was born to be a frontman.
Yeah, I mean, but when you check them out, you're gonna laugh. You're gonna go, this is insane that we've not heard this. You know, awesome. And it's all like funky. Yeah. And all of a sudden it's metal.
Oh. That sounds awesome.
And then it comes back to 80 Cent. And then it goes to like funk. And then it goes back. It's awesome.
Oh, man. I need to hear these guys. What have we been doing? We haven't listened to this.
I have no idea. Apparently not living life.
Not living.
You know what? I'm going to reach out to them and play one of their tracks on here one day.
Please do.
And tell them. Because they're a cool band. They're fun. They're original. They're just different.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back to Funeral Horse. I wish we had a Funeral Horse track so bad.
I wish we did too.
Okay, Project Kitchen Band.
Oh my God, I love.
Because I know if he's listening right now, the whole time I've been talking about Funeral Horse, he's like, "Why is he not talking about Project Kitchen Band?"
Oh,
I know that's what he's saying. You know.
I have been a fan of Project Kitchen Band before. I think they were a full band.
They're good, man.
They're so good.
They're good. I you know, and one of the guys I want to say works at Gulf Coast Bank too, which is even cooler. But like, they're nice guys
they're
too.
So nice guys.
Super nice guys. You meet them, you would never think that that's them on stage.
No.
If you turn around, you'd be like, no way.
No. Yeah. I used to work with a couple of them at Domino's when I delivered pizza.
Yeah.
Good dudes. Real good dudes.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, you can't play at my venue, but you can deliver my pizza. Had to throw that in there. Had to throw that in there. Sorry. So I had to throw that in there.
The way I met Project Kitchen Band, I've been doing shows with them ever since I met them like this. I was doing an open mic night contest at Artmosphere, and I was a judge somehow. I don't even know how I got the gig. Somehow I was judging these bands for open mic night, and PKB came up and a band that he was in, but now the guitar player moved to Vegas, so that band's over. Those are the two bands I think should have won it, because Project Kitchen Band came on, and I was just like, holy shit, you guys are fun. Why have I not seen you before? And they're like, we haven't gotten a show anywhere. This is where we first could play.
They won't let us play in their venue.
They won't let us play
and yeah, they'd come and set up an entire, drum kit, amps, everything for three songs.
And be like, yeah, cool, thank you so much for the opportunity.
Run in,
they
set up.
And then, and right when I saw them, I don't know, it's just so funny, because, it's 4 black dudes, and then a white bassist.
Henry.
And, and they went back to the oririnal guy.
Oh, it's like the flip-flop of Jimi Hendrix experience.
Yes, it's exactly that. and they're so good, and their harmonies are on point. They're just a really good
Dude, they're good, though.
Band, man.
But not only are they good, you can feel the energy when they're on stage, every single one of them. Mm-hmm. Like, they're all in sync. You could tell they're very close. And after the show, they'll come up to you like, hi, it was very good to meet you.
Yeah.
Like, it throws you off, but like, really, I'm looking, I know they're going to have CDs that night because they've been trying to promote their new album, mm-hmm. and I'm looking forward to buying one.
Oh, I am. I can tell you, because I'm in, Brandon, the drummer for PKB, I'm in a few projects with him. And so I've heard it. So I got the insights. And I was like, man, this is great.
Well, they sound good live, so their CD sounds better.
And they're tight. They're such a tight band. They're very, very rarely do you get a band where you go see a show and it sounds like it does on the album. Album tight live. And they're one of them. Because, they really do rehearse, and they've been together so long, and they all went to high school together. So it's just like, they're best friends that all worked out to play in a band together, which is very rare. I don't think I play. Well, I couldn't, but I don't imagine I would ever still be in a band with someone from high school. And so it's really cool that they stuck together that long.
Okay, I gotta know why.
Well, I went to boarding school.
Oh, okay.
And so I jammed with some of those dudes by default. It was just like, well, wait, there's like 5 of us that play music. I guess we're in a band now. And, we had guys from all over. Like, I was listening to Black Flag and Dead Kennedys at the time, playing with a guy that was really into Widespread Panic. Like, so it was coming out very odd,
Yeah. I went to a school briefly in Mississippi where they hated me because I was like the only guy that and this is not a bad thing. I didn't have like the Mississippi slang twang. I used to call it, So like they looked at me like I was a weirdo. And people here look at me like I'm weirdo sometimes too, even though I talk just like them. So it's not really a difference. So, like, what I'm saying is, but I remember, like, this is going way back. Like, I used to be on the air at their radio station when I was like 19 years old. I walked into that station. I'm not going to say the name of the station, but it just so happened to be the only college radio station in Wesson, Mississippi, about 50 miles south of Jackson.
Not going to say the name. Latitude, longitude.
Yeah, just go ahead and do your math on that one, like, or do some simple, Google Earth type stuff, and you'll see a tower. It starts with a W. All right. All right. Funniest story ever with this, right? I walk in with 3,000 CDs in those cases. Remember back in the day you had these cases? Mm-hmm. Okay. Big cases. The station manager was so excited to show me all his music, and it was all Christian contemporary music, which is no big deal, but I don't listen to any Christian contemporary music.
That's all they make in Mississippi.
But at the time, they had concerts out there, and I would go to some of these concerts, and I was like, do you know where your kid is right now? Because I've seen people at the Christian Contemporary DC Talk concert get rowdier in the weird-looking mosh pit. than some of the actual mosh pits.
Yeah.
I was like, is this really happening right now? I remember being in the chair. I was like the only one sitting in the chair. I was like, wow, dude, this is like wild. Like wild. But the craziest part about it was some of the best guitar sounds I've ever heard, because their acoustics in the room were so good. I was like blown away by that. And then all of a sudden some dude comes flying in and like the middle of this crazy DC Talk. By the way, do you know what their hit song was?
Oh, DC Talk's not the...
It's the Captain Crunch one, right?
No, is that My House or My Father's
Jesus
House?
Freak.
Oh yeah,
that was their hit song.
Yeah,
so
I'm
like everybody, and then all of a sudden it was like a Linkin Park vibe. There was a dude would come in and start rapping, and then all of a sudden they'd come back in with the metal riff.
What would people do if they knew I was a Jesus?
I remember seeing a crazy mosh pit over a Lion.
So I'm in that environment, and I'm playing White Zombie. I got popular real quick. So like, you know, it was fun though. It was fun. Yeah. You know, and they wound up learning that not just everybody wanted to hear that one kind of music, but it was almost like a programmable thing for me, because it's all they played.
Yeah.
I was like, let these people think for themselves for a second, please. Like, why not? So that we had fun there. I mean, we had fun. I thought it was a great time.
Oh yeah. So that sounds like a good time. Like,
so that was my time. That was my time there.
In the great Mississippi.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun briefly.
You got to culture people.
Well, yeah, at least after, you know, because I was playing prong. I was playing some stuff that they have never heard. You know, like I was playing really. I even played a little Marilyn Manson.
Ooh.
Yeah, surprisingly, I did get the cops called on me a couple of times.
Oh yeah.
But I would never let them in.
Angry moms, just
weird stuff. We did a really cool thing where people would call in and talk about their relationships, and I would play some like really cool 80s funk music in the background, real low. So as you're talking about your relationship, it kind of sounds a little bit more enticing.
Yeah.
And I did the show with a guy named Jimmy Britt that lives in Jackson right now. Like literally, it was awesome. Like people would call in and he just didn't come home last night. I don't know what to do. It wasn't in that voice though.
Yeah. I hope not.
But he didn't come home last night, you know? And then out of nowhere, well, where do you think he went? He either went to his mom's, his brother's, his dad's, or someone else's house. Which one was it? A, B, C, or D? And that's the kind of stuff that I would do.
Yeah.
And they would kind of get angry, but they would keep it on point. Like, so it was fun. And I miss it. You know, I've always missed it. It's been a lot of fun. So back to Pinkerton. Mm-hmm. It's called the ADD show on Radio Louisiana.
The ADD hour here. Pinkerton, I actually play bass in it. But we played the Feed and Seed before, and
y'all played quite a few places. Y'all played Wild Salmon quite a bit.
Yeah, the Wild Salmon a lot. And the band's been through 30 different lineup changes or something. Like,
yeah,
I've always been in it. I'm the guy with the Weezer tattoo, so I guess they can't get rid of me. But
where's the Weezer tattoo? Oh, okay. It's not like on your butt or okay. No. Big Weezer on the arm.
Yeah, they're coming to New Orleans June 12th. I just found that out. We're all going to go as a band field trip down there to Champion Square. And
a band field trip.
We did it in my band Jameson and The Baumbacks.
Who is also playing.
Which is also playing. That's going to be the last Baumback show ever.
Until the year 2035.
35, we will triumphantly return to bring ska once again back to you.
Dude, I'm going to be honest with you. Is that really a ska band?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to push that because, like, literally, ska is the shit. It really is. Like,
like
only ska band in Lafayette right now.
I think
so. Why does nobody really hardcore know about that?
We actually...
It's probably my fault.
Well, no, we haven't played for like a year, but when we were playing, we were getting pretty... We got quite a few people.
To me, that should... I mean, Artmosphere should be all over that.
We tried to book there, and we just kept getting a runaround. So we just gave up on it. Because, like, I mean, I've booked plenty of places. I've booked in Dallas. I've booked in Kansas. I've booked in Arizona. I've booked a lot of clubs. I owned a club here. And so I know what booking entails. And you reach a point when you've seen the other side, I guess, where you're like, you're just giving me the runaround. I'm kind of done pursuing this with y'all.
You know what? I've got an idea. Let's talk a little bit more about the show, and then I got an idea topic that we need to talk about. Because nobody talks about it, and I really think it would be cool for people to hear. Okay. Porch Squad.
They are a hip-hop group with this guy named Zig. I guess I don't think anyone's officially at the helm, and I guess I maybe only think Zig's at the helm because that's who I met first. But they're really good and really energetic, and their beats are phenomenal.
What kind of music?
Hip-hop.
Okay.
And
is that the band that was like downtown one night and got some award or something? They were at Warehouse 535 for some kind of thing. Is that who that is?
I don't know. If that's... No, I doubt it.
Okay.
Because these guys, I mean, they... I wouldn't call them underground. Maybe if it wasn't, that's awesome. I didn't hear about that. But I thought that was like... I figured that would be like Smooth Roz or something like that.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know.
I haven't been to... I actually have not.
The only
been
hip-hop
to
I listen to comes from New York. So and you'd have to really entice me to want to hear anything from the South. I'm not being mean. I just like the New York sound.
Yeah. The one thing I like about these guys, my problem with hip hop has been for a while. I like the hip hop where I don't want to hear about your chain or your.
Oh no, I want to hear about I want paleo diet.
Yeah.
I want to hear you rapping about paleo diets and stuff.
Yeah.
No, I'm just joking.
I mean, I like when rappers, because like part of the real reason I'm into rock, if you listen to a lot of rock and everything, you're hearing about their life. You know, like what they did and all that stuff. So, like, when you get a rapper that's honest with you, you're like, yeah, I used to sell crack.
Why is Wu-Tang so popular? Why do you think Wu-Tang is so popular? When you think about the rap
because they ain't nothing to fuck with.
Well, no. Look, I mean,
shit.
You know why? Because he's crazy. When Old Dirty Bastard was crazy. Mm-hmm. And his name was ODB. And look, I'll never forget when I heard one of his lyrics. He said, "I'm the ODB, as you can see. FBI, don't you be watching me." That is hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is awesome.
Like, go listen to an ODB album. You won't be the same after. You will be changed completely after. You know. And then he tried to sing that time Rick James.
Yeah. On
his album while he was tore up on the album, and he just let it roll and make a track out of it. I was like, wow. You want a wild day? Go watch Wonder Chosen and then go listen to ODB.
That sounds like
go do that.
We should do that today. Forget practice. We'll just do that.
I don't know if we have time for practice, honestly. We'll see.
And then go watch Syphil and Ollie episodes. Yeah. Chester.
Sounds like a great day. We need to hang out more because like these days sound awesome.
I'm Chester. All right. I'm gonna stop. Okay. TG Diamond. And Diamond is this Diamond?
The Diamond Devil Revue. It's a burlesque troupe.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what you wrote.
What did I write?
I says TG.
TG?
TG. Like T as in Tom and G as in Gary. Look, TG. TG Diamond Devil Revue.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's the.
I think they should change their name to TG
Diamond Devil Revue.
Diamond Devil Revue. Because I know who the Diamond Devil Revue are. I was like, what's this TG? That is a the?
Is that a the?
That's a the.
Okay. I wish
whatever you want it to be, really.
Maybe I should email Lucifer and tell her that it's now TG Diamond Devil Revue.
Yeah.
That's the local. That's a local burlesque.
True Gangsta Diamond Devil Revue.
Dude. Now you know that would pack the house.
Yeah. That's the way we're doing it. Yeah, they're local burlesque troupe. They're really, I like them. I don't know her, Miss Mia Moore, I think is her.
I know her.
Yeah. I call it Megan Bobangan.
Megan, yeah. I mean, I've been knowing Megan.
Yeah, me too. We've known Megan.
She makes handbags too, I think.
And little hats, I think.
Yeah.
Not for monkeys, like for,
Right, for real people.
Well, that's a story I have from New Orleans. This bartender handed me a card one time in New Orleans.
A corn?
A card.
Oh,
like a
she handed me a
card.
corn.
That's my Texas accent coming out. And
she origamied it into a little hat?
No, she gave me her card and it says professional mixologist.
Okay.
And I also make tiny hats. And in my inebriated state, the only thing that could come to my head was, I'm like for monkeys? And she's like, what? And I'm like, you said you make tiny hats and like for monkeys? And she's like, no, like the girls wear. And I'm like, why would they not wear normal size hats?
Why wouldn't you just call it hats?
They're tiny though.
Like the girls wear.
Like the girls wear.
We're going to have to get you in here and talk about this.
We're going to have to get this mixologist up in here.
Bartender and haberdashery.
Can you bring your mixology basket, portable basket, and bring some mixers with you?
Bring it on in.
Does she mix you drinks while you wait for her to make the hat?
No, she was at her bartending job at the time, and I just was so confused that a bartender was handing me a business card, which I thought maybe all bartenders should have business cards, and especially with
good ones.
Well, but now you can get a business card made for like literally you can get like $500 for $5. Yeah. It's impressive. I can't even believe they're making them for such a...
I don't get mine that cheap.
Good. There are places.
It just depends on what kind of paper you put.
It depends on the color.
The
How many colors?
Underbelly of business card world.
Mine are
much
square.
like the T-shirt market.
I have these picks too. Y'all want to pick?
Yeah.
Take a pick.
Yeah, we'll take pics.
Like I made 650 picks for like $50.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So
it makes a lot more sense than it makes more sense than a golf ball.
You got 600 for $50?
it was like 650.
Oh man, that's nothing.
Cheap.
Wait, are you insulting the Hefe Saloon golf ball?
A little bit. I saw it. I found it the other day, and I put it up, and I said, I kind of had a chuckle.
We got free Hefe Saloon golf balls.
Oh, I thought you paid for them.
No, I didn't pay for them.
Okay, see, I was making.
We had a regular that worked at that 1-800 golf balls that's in town.
Right.
Yeah.
And they, for some reason, green's not a popular color golf ball. Well, I bet not because you can't.
How much are these golf balls? Because I make some live and local balls.
I don't know because she gave us.
You got balls?
She gave
live
us,
and local does.
She gave us 2.
That'll be a good.
Local got balls.
Damn.
She gave us 2 boxes of golf balls, and that was our first ever promo item at Hefe's.
Yeah, I know. I have mine still.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't know who got one. I'm sure I should have one if I don't.
I was gonna give it. I figured you lost yours, so I was gonna give it to you for your birthday, like in 10 years.
10 years.
Yeah.
When I'm like old and don't even remember Hefe's from the dementia.
You're gonna be demented at like
Let me ask
42.
you this about Hefe's. How do you get the other 3/8 back?
Oh, it's like the guys. I mean, the lady. So here's what happened with that as far as Hefe goes. So JB was like, I'm going to
that's not a bad spot.
I love that spot. That's my favorite spot I've ever. Period. I love that spot.
It's on Hollywood.
It's like
it's on Hollywood.
It's on
I love that it's away.
It's
from
on what?
Wall Street.
Wall Street, right?
Yeah, you take Easy Street to Wall Street, and that literally is the direction.
Literally, dude, that's pretty wild.
But the landlord. So pretty much when JB bought it out, I was like, well, you're going to have to put the lease and everything in your name because if I'm only 1/3 owner, I'm not taking that name. So he signed a lease, didn't pay rent when he was supposedly like, all right, we're going to get our liquor licenses, never paid rent to her. And so she evicted him.
Dude.
And then I called her up. I was like, look, screw all these other guys. I'll rent it right now. You and me, no other partners. I'll do it by myself. And she goes, no, I refuse to rent to you because you were involved with them. And he didn't pay me rent. And I was like, well, I wasn't on the lease or anything. She's like, nope, not going to do it. And so she rented to what I understood to now be a gaming center. Like, it's...
Like LAN games?
No, like, they have a poker table.
Oh, that's legal.
Well, they're not... The house takes no cut.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, it is legal. Like, the house takes no cut at all. So they serve drinks and everything. It's a bar. You can
gamble.
walk in.
You can gamble publicly. It's just as long as the people that own the place don't make money off
the house can't take
okay.
Yeah. Okay. It's a gray area.
Yeah.
I'm out of it.
You tell her if she wants somebody to get on a lease, I'll call her.
Yeah. I had a whole way around it since you wouldn't rent to me.
No, I mean, to me, like, it really was a cool place. The bar was cool. Mm-hmm. It reminded me of the inside of a boat the first time I ever went in it. And I actually made that comment. If y'all designed it like the inside of a boat, like call it the freaking like what is
galley?
Shipwreck? The
Yeah,
shipwreck?
like the U-boat.
Oh, the U-boat.
Something crazy, like get old World War II craziness up in there.
I was really sad because I was about to get a bunch of
You might get a pirate one day show up and talk about his old experiences. One time I was in the Atlantic Ocean. Like how funny would that
be great.
And if you actually had like the full percentage, like you could have done whatever you wanted with it.
Yeah, I could have.
Compared to how it had been, when you didn't have the control.
Yeah, I was really getting sad because I actually, when I was like, okay, yeah, I'm just going to rent it by myself. Because when all this drama started going down, I went ahead and copyrighted S.C.U.M and the logo in my name. Because I was like, no matter what, that's my name. Like, there's no way that you guys can have that. But I was going to rent it myself, and I was really sad because my dad was just about to give me all these animal heads. Like, like a moose.
Right.
And a ram and all this. And so I was going to take down that S.C.U.M banner that was behind the stage, you remember? And just put a moose head.
Nice.
Right there. And like that's it. Like you take a picture of a band on stage. We don't need you to have S.C.U.M in it because there's a giant life-size moose with antlers above the drummer. And that was going to be our identifier. Right. And now I don't have that.
Until somebody jumps off a Marshall stack.
Yeah. We were going to have to really secure that. That is a possibility as well.
Well, I got to say this. I'm looking forward to seeing TG Diamond Devil Revue.
And a true Yankton Diamond.
I actually have some pictures I need to give them, believe it or not.
They're great.
They are definitely something you're not going to forget.
They go the furthest I've ever seen.
No, I mean, you've got a male and a female spectrum in there too. Like you don't see that. You don't see that in New Orleans. I've seen everything there is. I've seen from Paris. I've seen every burlesque show you got. Like La Femme was by far the most expensive and probably most professional. Because they do like a laser light show on a nude body. So like literally they're taking it to a completely different level with choreography and stuff with lights. So and then they kind of mix it. It's just different, But and I think they had it in Vegas for a short time. They had it at MG and Graham. But no, I mean, and you have some at every now and then at Armosphere, and then you I think they have a show actually coming up at Scandals, believe it or not, very soon.
Okay.
And then you have, just random stuff, but I can't give the show away because I know they don't like that, Yeah, and it's on the tip of my tongue. So like literally, like I don't want to give the show away.
And that's actually going to be the first non-musical act I think we've ever had at Mitchfest. Well, there's music involved. They're dancing and everything like that, but it's going to be the first non-band we've had. I don't think we've ever had anything else that wasn't a band.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think that might be the first one.
Yeah, I mean, and it mixes up the music.
Yeah. I was stoked when, because Lucifer, I'll call her by her stage name, she contacted me and she's like, well, could we do Mitchfest? And I'm like,
I think it's actually perfect for them to do
I don't
Mitchfest.
see why not. Like, that sounds great to me.
It's the right crowd. It's the right mix. It's perfect for y'all to take a break in between. It breaks up the sound. It breaks up the whole everything. And it gets a lot of different everything out there.
Yeah. I think it's going to be nice because it's a whole other group of people that like to come to that may not normally come to it. And then it also shows a lot of people that come for music with the bands that may not normally go to a burlesque show. And
as far as Mitchfest is concerned, it's a lot of everything. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of everything. When you mix this in there, it's a lot of everything. Yeah, it makes everything emphasized on everything. So, literally, I mean, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah,
it's going to be an interesting night. Is it? It's just one night.
It's just one night.
Okay.
It's doors open at 3, first act on at 4, and goes.
I mean, y'all might do really well with just one venue. Like people don't know this, but like before, there were 2 venues. And you had to go from back and forth. And they had a shuttle that would bring you back and forth to see whatever shows that you wanted to see. Right. Instead of stages at a festival, there were venues, and they would bring you from venue to venue.
Yeah, it was between the Wild Salmon and Half Phases.
Right.
We did 2 years. And it was, like 6 blocks?
a quarter mile away.
Mile. But it was still kind of a hassle because you would almost have to miss the last 3 songs of the band at the Salmon if you wanted to catch the band that went on after them at Hefe's. You know, you had to bounce around and.
But like this, I mean, to me, the only thing y'all are missing is a food truck.
We are, and I wish the guy I personally knew that ran a food truck, doesn't have it anymore. So.
Well, I mean,
I know somebody that
Frankie Burger's got a food truck.
Is Frankie back on food truck?
I don't know, but I know I see it on Bill Rod all the time. But like seriously, like you would think that somebody would have reached out to y'all by this time because y'all gonna pull at least 150 plus people on this.
Oh yeah, and there's
one venue.
One venue.
That I mean, that it's gonna be pretty packed in there.
Oh yeah, so like GP's is not huge.
No, it's not huge, but like literally, when the flux of getting people in and out to go eat at the food truck would actually be a pretty good idea.
Yeah. What about that hot dog guy that used to come around Blue Moon? Grateful Dog. I
don't know the hot dog guy.
Even him would be good.
The Grateful Dog.
The Grateful Dog was tasty.
What was
tasty little thing.
That we used to have? The guy I knew, he did the slider truck. He had a.
Well, you also have this. The one my favorite food truck. I don't really frequent the food truck scene. But the Wop Wagon is like the best. Wagon? To me, y'all should reach out to the Wop Wagon.
Wop Wagon.
It's Italian food.
That's a...
Dude, to me, he is like all about some Mitchfest. The Wop Wagon, dude.
I'll hit him up on Facebook. If he wants to come out, I'm all about it.
You know that dude's creative.
Because like that's the thing is this year we don't have... Because last year with the Salmon Kitchen, which whatever it was still technically food product you could consume. Then they were actually pretty cool. They would take with the Salmon. They had a guy that rode his bicycle that would take your order to Hefe's for you if you wanted. So
what?
Deemed it. Yeah, little Kev.
Are you kidding? Kevin was doing little runs.
Little runs on his bike.
I didn't know that.
That's because you were passed
Not
down
me.
the pee hole.
Another Kev.
No, another Kev. Little Kev.
Little Kev. So we trying to say how big, dude?
Compared to this kid, you are a Norwegian giant.
Oh, Little Kev.
Little
Kev, go get us some burgers.
Get us some burgers.
Get us some burgers and fries.
Kev. We just saw Little Kevin right before we came here.
Here's $25, Little Kev.
Kev. Poor Little Kev.
Bring Little Kev a pic.
I'm gonna bring Little Kev a pic.
Yeah, Little Kev needs that pic.
He needs.
That'll be Little Kev's surfboard.
Thank you, Kev.
Little Kev's surfboard.
You could ride on this.
Yes.
It's tiny. It's like
boogie board.
Thumbelina.
You can go to Grand Isle with that.
Get over to Grand Isle.
Have you been to Grand Isle lately?
No.
I haven't either. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't either. But guys, what time is it?
All right, doors open at 3. First guy, music starts at 4.
3 o'clock Saturday starts with Domania. I mean that's a good name.
That's what I was saying.
Domania.
Because it doesn't mean anything that we convinced the band to do.
I mean, I have a couple of ideas, man. I just, before we get out of here, I have to ask you a question.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing live music in Acadiana?
I guess since 10 years.
10 years.
Since I moved here.
Okay. Moved here from where?
Fort Worth, Texas.
Okay. And you were doing live music there too?
Mm-hmm. I worked in a club up there called The Door and the Profit Bar.
Okay. Mm-hmm. The Profit Bar had to have been a metal bar.
It was when I was there. We did the metal scene in Texas was
got to be industrial too.
Yeah, it was. I mean, the metal scene was just ridiculously blown up when I lived there. I mean, we were getting shows.
Pull that mic a little closer.
Yeah, we were getting shows that you couldn't believe, man. Like up there. I mean, it was a crazy time, like to run sound for some of these bands and it kind of creeped me out when I first moved down here because, like, to me, like I've been running sound for these guys, and we had like 3,000 capacity venue, but we had no House of Blues in Dallas. So like when a band would book the House of Blues tour, but you wanted to play Dallas and you weren't quite big enough to do the big arena in Dallas, you had to play us. And I come down here and I mean, all these small metal bands, like I wrestled a bear once and all those kind of things, like kids are wearing sweatshirt of it, and like local bands from Fort Worth that had blown up. And I moved down here and they're like, oh, I love this band. I love Interior. I love Sky's Airplane. And I was like, I know those dudes. Like, I remember when they only had 2 kids coming to their shows. That's cute. And like, so it was kind of a weird transition when I moved down here. But I love it down here. Like, I'm probably one of the few Texans that I'm like, yeah, I'm here. I'm good. I like it here.
I'm curious. You've heard everything.
I mean, I don't know.
No, I mean, like, you know, when you go walk into a club to play as a band, as a new band, you know, you've heard it all.
Yeah.
Because you've been in so many different bands and you know a lot of different bands. So, like, literally, what would you tell someone that's thinking about starting a band? What would be the right way out of your mouth to say, you do it like this?
Okay. If you really want to make a serious go at it, you need to practice for like 8 months before you even think about booking a show. I would personally hit the ground running with an album done and merch made, because if you want to make any type of decent living at it, or just, I mean, even extra money, it's not coming out of the door anymore. You're not going to make that much from people paying, but you will make quite a bit off of selling t-shirts and albums and stickers and buttons. And the more things you can think to slap your name on, slap them on there. I mean, I've seen bands now. The best thing I saw was matchbooks from a band that they just put all over the bar when they played. So like everyone left with their matchbook. So it may not be that they went home right away and liked their Facebook, but you know, the next day they're like, oh, that band was really good, you know? And that's one thing I would suggest to them. And then when you finally get to that point to play a show, listen to the sound guy, because there's nothing more annoying in this world from someone that ran sound, owned a club, when the guy's like, no, man, my amp has to be at 10 because, you know, it's a tube amp. And I'm like, well, you bought too big of an amp for the clubs in Lafayette then. So I would know your gear. Don't bring cables to the show. Be prepared, pretty much, you know.
Or bring a box. One of those.
Oh shit box where you got extra cables, extra mics, because you never know what you're going to hit at whatever club. Ask questions when you're booking the show too. Like, don't just expect like, okay, we got a show, we're done. Be like, hey, do you have your own PA? Do you have enough mics? We have 5 singers. Do you have 5 microphones? You know, things like that.
Yeah. Do you have a backup microphone just in case Bertha, the lead singer's mom, decided to drink too much that one night and grab the mic and drop it?
Exactly. Like, ask questions.
Extra batteries.
9 volts.
Yeah.
Huge. Like, I mean, and then listen, whatever the sound guy's telling you, he's not telling you that to be a dick. And a lot of newer bands tend to think that the sound guy's telling them to turn down, or, hey, it'd be much better if you use this mic and then whatever mic you brought, maybe per se, because, you know, the sound guy, he's going to use most of them are going to use the time-tested SM58, which is the silver ball on the black shaft. And, you know, if you brought in a rink-a-dink wireless setup you bought for $20, that 58 is going to sound better. He's just trying to make your show better, so it's nothing against him.
And I've left shows that have just been too loud because the band refuses to turn down.
And
I'm like, I can't hear anything but just noise.
And I understand you're playing metal, but White Light Cemetery are a great example of a band that plays hard metal, like good music, but appropriate volume for whatever room they're playing in.
Yeah.
They know how to set it up, so I never have to walk in and be like, oh my God, you can't even fathom it.
He's another guy, I got to tell you, man. He looks like he's going to come at you 150 miles an hour, and if you test him, he probably will. Mm-hmm. But he's smooth.
Oh, yeah.
Smooth guy. You know, the lead singer of White Light Cemetery.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's true. I mean, he's good. He played last year at Mitchfest. Mm-hmm. He did the Whip and Pole song, and it's probably one of the best versions I ever heard anybody do it in.
He's phenomenal. Like, and they're just good. And that's what I think bands need. Whatever kind of music you're going to play, you know, you need to play to your room. And then another thing is, don't get mad that if you're your first show and, you know, it's your mom, your girlfriend, and your best bud, like, it's your first show. Like, don't get so discouraged right off the bat and start yelling like, oh, people don't. I hear this from new bands all the time. Like, man, people just don't, people hate local music. That's all it is. I'm like, no, you're brand new, man. Give it a minute. Like, it's not going to hit right away all the time, and it may not hit at all. Or if the club would just put me in front of a crowd of 200 people, I'd be great. Well, I mean, as on the other side of that dollar, as a club owner, I need the band that's going to help bring in 200 people. If you bring 5 people to your show, well, shouldn't I have saved that? Shouldn't I give that known great spot to a band that's been constantly bringing me good numbers, you know? So there's two sides of it. So just don't go ahead and blame the club owner every time, even though I've wanted to and I have before. I can tell you, like, after owning one, there's a whole nother set of challenges where you're like, man, I got to rent dude this week. I got to have a great weekend. And as much as I love these dudes, they bring 10 people, and that band over there I don't really like brings 150, you know?
Yeah. I have one more question. Mm-hmm. How long does it take to set up?
Set up?
For this show.
Oh, booking this show?
Yeah.
Well, when I did, I mean, this one, like 6-8 months. Like, so pretty much when Mitchfest is over, I take, you know, like a few months, and then I start contacting bands again, especially when it's huge. Like when we do like 50 bands.
I'm saying this for a reason, because people that have an issue paying a cover, mm-hmm. I want them to hear this.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, literally, you know, this is not something we threw together and got high, and because that's what people perceive sometimes. And I just want people to understand there's work involved with this. This is not a situation that, oh, these guys don't care about it. You know, like literally they give a shit. Not only do they give a shit, they work their asses off to make sure the show takes place. So I'm trying to get that out. Even though this is not something that y'all wanted to talk about, I'm asking. And the reason why is because I think some people need to hear it.
With all the logistics and everything and getting a club, I mean, it's pretty much 1 year's over, and it kind of starts again. You start thinking about what you want to improve on for next year,
right?
Where you want to have it for next year. Go ahead and lock down that
seems to be a problem because last year you didn't think for a second that Wild Salmon. You didn't think for a second you'd be in this position, which made it even harder this year.
And honestly, like, do I really want to, like, when they close, like, do I really want to do it again? Like, I mean, like,
is it worth it? Is it worth making $50?
Yeah,
because you know what I'm saying. Because you may not make a damn thing.
Yeah, and
I know a lot of guys that put events on, and people say that, and people think they're lying. Yeah. I'm like, no, you don't realize that these people love this. Mm-hmm. Like, and that's why a lot of people are playing music. That's why they're writing music. It's not for them to be extremely wealthy. No. You know, when they get a little bit of it, yeah, I mean, it motivates them. But at the same time, they love to be on stage. They love the way it feels whenever y'all are standing at the stage, and they know that they're performing for you.
Yeah.
So I like that to come out. Because I've been on tour with some bands. I've been in literally. It costs money for gas to get to these shows. But I mean, you even had, I think it was Jason Aldean this weekend that got in a major car accident in a Ford Expedition, mm-hmm. and they're like bad. You have the drummer from Rebel Cruiser that got in an accident. Mm-hmm. You know, this stuff costs money.
Oh yeah,
instruments cost money.
But instruments are not cheap.
Your time to go practice. Yeah. I mean, that's
every
like, week.
If you ran it like if you were to run it like a business, I mean, if you say like every hour, like if you were, an entrepreneur and you were starting up a startup company, so every hour you work, is technically you have to pay yourself at least minimum wage is how you have to dock it in, right?
Right.
I'd say every local band, if they actually did the numbers like QuickBooks told them to, is running a giant negative. Deficit. Giant deficit.
In the red.
Because, I mean, I know bands that literally practice every day, and which is great. I mean, like, if you have the free time to do that as far as new bands go, if you can literally practice 7 days a week and do whatever it is you need to do for your responsibilities, do it. That's awesome. I mean, like, I can't do that anymore. Like,
yeah, I mean, the other thing, how old are you?
I'm 31, going to be 32.
Okay. I'm 37. I'm about to be 38. I've been around this whole scene a really long time. I remember when they first, I remember the first meeting of a guy named Bobby and his sister was the original lead singer of Bag of Donuts in Thibodeau. Okay. And they weren't anything like they are now, and then apparently changed some sort of transition of hands. And I always wondered whatever happened to Bobby and his sister, because his sister used to get up there and do Rage Against the Machine. Like, she was very good at it. Mm-hmm. I remember that, So like, I've seen it for years, and I've seen the things people have had to deal with, and I've seen the transition of people think they're cool and all the way into not having a band. So it's just something. It's a learning experience, But I think sometimes people don't realize how much A, they love it, and B, how long it really takes to get some of this stuff done.
Oh yeah. And
the venue owners also, there is an aspect of them too, because they have to make sure that they have a venue to continue to keep going too. So it's all one pie, and when it all works, it's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
But it helps. The people have to go in order for it to continue on a regular basis.
I mean, one thing I did at Hefe's, and a lot of club owners are not doing this anymore, and that's fine. I mean, everyone has to adapt and to make money. Is I told the bands all the time, like, whatever we make at the door, you get 100% of that. So whether it's $100 or it's $500 or whatever you make at the door, that's 100% yours. I'll take the money off the alcohol. We're good. And
pull it a little bit closer.
A little bit.
Yeah.
All right. And then the other thing is, you got I think the common thing now around town is an 80-20 split. Bands get 80%. The club takes 20% for costs and everything, which I don't have a problem with if what they're taking that 20% for is actually being done. Like if you say you're going to do promotion costs, I don't just make a Facebook event and charge me 20% of the door for it, because I've already made the Facebook event. You know what I mean? Like, do a little something. Like I know a lot of clubs are now buying like weekly spots of radio airtime and stuff.
Right.
We'll switch it up. Whatever show is going on that Saturday, if you put me if you promoted my show on the radio, you can take 20% of whatever out the door. I don't care. But you got to be doing those things as well.
Right. Well, man, I just wanted to talk about that. They had no idea that I was going to talk about that, but I mean, I'm glad we did, because you have a lot of knowledge on it.
Yeah,
you do. You don't think you do, but you probably could write a book on it. You just don't realize it. And I know that because I know, everybody's got an opinion of everybody, but they all have some sort of really good knowledge. And literally, I know you have a lot of knowledge on that topic. So, and you can tell. Can you tell?
You can tell.
You can tell.
Yeah. You also have a lot of knowledge as far as finding some of the most interesting people to put on stage ever.
All those bands for Mitchfest, I'm a big fan of those guys. Like,
but
everybody on there.
But that's the thing. You motivate them at the same time.
I hope so.
You are. Right. Like, literally. We've heard some of these bands, but like, I'm telling you right now, Funeral Horse.
It's going to be good times.
And everybody that's heard us talk about it, they're like, man, I got to see that. Like, because it's true. Funeral Horse? What is that? What is that?
That's the first thing I asked.
That's the first thing
the only thing, I'm going to tell you what comes to mind. Back in the 20s or, 1910 or 1890 or something like that, it was the horse that apparently carried the casket into the funeral home.
Yeah.
It was a horse. You know that,
That might be...
It wheeled it from one place to the other, Imagine the stories that thing can tell.
He literally, when I was like, write down the list, and I was going over it, when I got to funeral, he's like, what? And I was like, funeral horse. And Slam's like, funeral horse? And I'm like, I'm telling you, man, that's their name.
I'm dying to hear this. You get a funeral horse? I'm dying to hear it. What's it like being the drummer of S.C.U.M?
Boy, it's something.
No, well, you heard it here, folks.
S.C.U.M's gone through 8 different lineup changes in 8 different shows. I think we've played 8 shows and we've never had the same lineup. Right? Is that right?
I don't know the exact number because I can't remember them all.
And
we have been in every lineup of it, haven't we?
Yes, that's right.
We have never not been in S.C.U.M.
We are the two.
We are the two founding original members.
S.C.U.M is scary. That's a scary name.
It stands for something amazing. Syncopated Coming Universal Masturbators.
Oh, okay.
So it's perfectly healthy.
So it's kind of like a spin-off of KMFDM.
Well, we're actually from the future.
Well, yeah, we came from 2030 to come
save
2030
to save our friend.
Listen to this. Okay, I got to hear this.
And the world. because
Valiant Thor.
Well, it's kind of like
I'm surprised there's no band called Valiant Thor yet.
Well, actually, what the problem is, you've seen Bill and Ted.
Yeah,
right.
We're
the future. And actually, what happened was, since we invented time travel, another dude came back trying to get rich and kind of stole our story and did it. With
like
Bill
on the
Ted.
time machine.
They did it with Bill and Ted and ruined the future from the Kraken. Which our music is the only music that can subdue it enough to be killed by human weaponry.
Now you sound like that weird guy on that YouTube video with
the Vermin Supreme?
Arby's, the guy that Arby's dude.
Oh yeah. But we came back.
Can you do that one more time? Like
what?
The Vermin, whatever you were talking about.
Vermin Supreme?
Oh, okay, yeah.
But we came back and we had to kill our counterparts.
That's right. We had to kill the originals.
We had to kill our originals. So like the Mitch you knew before we came back in time, dead.
Okay.
Same thing with Slam.
Can y'all talk about your experience coming back? Like, was the wormhole did it hurt when you came back? Did you come back?
Well, unfortunately, we had to get rid of our mechanical livers that are able to process
alcohol. That was the worst part.
And you could see whenever you need to sober up, you could just
turn it on,
turn the dial up,
and you can drive instantaneously,
and you're back to good.
And you're good. So you can turn your liver off and get drunk in like a sip,
right?
Or you can turn it all the way up after you're drunk, and you're sober to drive.
That's really the only technological advancement in the next 20 years.
For us.
That's like a high pass and low pass filter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a shame that we can't. If we had the technology right now,
but we don't. We didn't.
They broke on impact.
This started with so you're the drummer from S.C.U.M.
That's S.C.U.M's backstory. I mean, we're from the future, and Seattle was in S.C.U.M. and we had to come back and save him.
Seattle is a guy.
Seattle's a guy.
Okay.
He's from Seattle.
Oh,
but we met him at he's not even from Seattle.
Whatever.
We met him at the Wild Salmon, and he came up and said, "My name's Justin." And then I told him we had too many of those, and so I was like, "Where are you from?" And he said, "Wenatchee." And I was so drunk, I was like, "I can't pronounce that."
No.
And so he's like, I'm like, "What's that nearby?" He's like, "It's close to Seattle." I'm like, "All right, you're Seattle." And we literally have called him Seattle since then.
It's a good first name.
Yeah, I mean, and like everyone calls him Seattle now.
Everyone.
Hi, my name is Seattle.
My name's Seattle.
And I sound like I'm from somewhere else other than Seattle. No,
Wenatchee. But Slam's been doing S.C.U.M. He's my go-to punk rock drummer, man. If any band needs a punk rock drummer, Slam, Graham Slam Blake.
Slam's the man.
Slam's the
Graham
man.
Blake.
Graham
Slam Blake.
No oi bands though.
No oi bands.
I'm done with it.
You're done with the oi bands? They killed you that much? They destroyed you that much?
Can't do it.
How many have you been in?
One oi band. That was
enough. That was enough.
Oi.
Oh, I thought that. I can't believe that. Well, I can actually. I know the band you're referring to, and yeah.
Dude, I'm how many horns are in the ska band, by the way?
Just two.
Just two. This is all you need. I mean, because English Beat had one.
Yeah, it's a trombone and a flute.
Okay.
So
a flute.
Yeah, I know. It sounds weird too. And actually, when really cool girl named Valerie Hunter, she's actually the flute technician over at Prof Ernie's, where I'm at, and we had her come out. We're like, we're gonna try out. We're gonna audition her. Let's see what we think. And we, a lot of the songs were already written, and we're like, so a trombone player got with her, who's just really awesome. Trombone player. He was in the Navy band, and then when he got out, we got him. Lucky enough to get him, and he kind of sat with her and tried to the point. And the song just sounded so much cooler instantaneously with the flute. We're like, you're it. Like it just adds a whole nother level to it.
Yeah, I never would have thought.
Horace Trahan, pretty much. To me, I mean, like the songs he did with the flute player and the sax player.
Oh yeah,
he opened that genre all the way up.
Yeah, wide open with that.
I loved it. I love it.
Yeah,
I mean, and everybody thought that was so different and it wasn't traditional. But you know what? I think it's awesome.
Oh yeah,
literally. I mean, I know I've heard this last year.
I think you did. Yeah, we.
But she does like some flute, but it's kind of like it's faster than normal.
Yeah,
flute.
It's not what you would. It's not what you necessarily think everyone I tell we have a flute player, they're like, what? I'm like, look, you just got to come see that because it's
something you have to see.
Yeah, and sadly, so far, we've tried to record an album so many times, and we've never been happy. It's like, not that the engineer's not doing a great job, I think we're a live band. Like, I think our first release, because a lot of us are getting back together and reforming under something else after this last show. And,
are you starting another ska band after this?
It's going to be ska-esque. And we had some people move away, get different jobs. So this is the last time the original lineup's going to be able to get together. And so we'll probably, we're going to end up changing the name. But I think we got so many of the same players, minus a few, that we're a live band. I think we're going to have to just cut a live album. Like, that's the only way we're going to get it to sound right. And then, maybe go back in and clean it up on certain parts. But we've been in the studio 4 times, and we just cannot. We're like, that doesn't sound like us. We can't get it right. So maybe we're just bored of this. Maybe we should drink some more beer in the studio or something. I don't know.
That has worked.
Y'all are probably taking it way too seriously.
I think maybe it might sound fine to everybody else. To us, it just sounds weird.
We'll just do a live album.
Well, that's what we'll do. We just got to find.
You should do it this weekend.
Just record it this weekend?
Yeah.
We could just record it.
You may never get the chance.
You better.
Yeah. I think I'm going to... I think we might actually live stream Mitchfest if I can figure out how to do it.
I wouldn't even go there.
Don't even do that?
I wouldn't even go there.
Don't live stream it.
No. I have my own opinion about this live stream craziness.
I want to hear your opinion about this.
Okay. I'm going to give it out for first and foremost somebody. I've actually done 700 videos in 2.5 years. Mm-hmm. And literally, I think you show them something awesome, maybe one song on live stream. That's it. Get their ass to the show.
Yeah.
If you can't make it to the show, then you don't need to go.
That's fair.
That's honestly how I feel about it. Unless they can donate money,
mm-hmm.
they don't need to be watching the whole show for live.
That's a fair point.
That is not a joke. In my opinion, that's the way I feel about it. Because when we do live and local live, like I did it on Brass Mimosa. I think it was Saturday night.
Oh, the Blue Moon.
Yeah, I was there. They were in their set. They were probably like 3.5 songs out. Nobody wanted them to quit. I went live on that because it was all that energy right away, and you saw it. You know what I mean? I didn't give them a whole show. I gave them a reason why they should have got off their ass and went to the show.
Yeah.
Whenever I went to, I went to another place, and I did a live stream there. I showed them why they should have got off their ass and went to that show. And then I went the next day and showed them another show, right at the beginning, and said, "You've got 3 more hours to go." Because I'm gonna give you an example. One of the guys that I know did about 4 or 5, 6 different live streams at a show. The person went on the comment area and she wrote, "Your live stream stopped," and I just liked it. And the reason why is because they were expecting you to play the entire show. Mm-hmm. The only reason when I go to the 4th of July, and we talk about this, and they go, "Well, why do you feel like that?" And I say, the only reason I go to the July 4th and make a video of the fireworks is because if it rains, you have a lot of parents that have children with special needs, and literally they can't go.
Yeah.
So that's why I'll go and do that entire video, because literally, I mean, it lasts for about 6 or 7 minutes. So literally, I will go out there and do that.
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, it might be the lady right there. Okay. No, seriously, like I will do that, and I'll get emails from people. Come in. I get emails from people, and they say, "Thank you so much for doing this. My daughter was so mad because she was not able to make it because it started raining. We couldn't get her in the car in time to see it. When we saw this online, she was able to see the entire show."
Oh yeah, that's great. So
literally, I mean, that's awesome. If somebody that to me, that's what live feeds should be for. Either or get off your ass and go see the show if you're local, because you need to do that. I mean, you need to support it. Now, until live stream comes out with paying a cover, you don't need to give them a whole show.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think I'm going to do it. Then I think I'm going to live stream like a little something, like at the beginning, maybe in the middle, as more of encouragement. With like maybe a little like get out of here.
Right.
I think that's a better way to go.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, guys, this was fun.
This was
Yeah,
good
appreciate
times.
it.
It was
Yeah, good
fun.
stuff.
And I'm going to put this on Radio Louisiana also. I'm going to put it, it's going to be flipped into a video and we'll be able to share it, and I'll write something also about it. But guys, great to meet y'all. It's Mitch Briggs and Graham Blake. See y'all Saturday. Starting
Come on
at 4.
out. JP's first
JP's
band at 4,
bar.
doors at 3.
And don't miss the burlesque show.
$5.
Don't miss the burlesque show.
TG Diamond Devil Review.
True gangsta.
I love it. Thank y'all for listening.